Welcome back, sports fans. Welcome if you're new to us. BJ's joining me live tonight. Davo is on a little break this week. He's got a black lung, has he? We've got Tid Bits, NRL, AFL, Newey baseball, bit of NASCAR, F1, MLB, and of course our Tid Bits. Mate, before we get started, I know you had a big weekend down in Sydney with the boys, the Hunter Coast team down there for was it Little League? What?
Yeah, I was down there for Little League Div 2. I was
Yep.
managing the Little League Div 2 team. The Little League Div 2 and also the majors were playing down there. Great weekend. Beautiful weather. Someone was telling me that in Newcastle it was atrocious and absolutely pouring. It was beautiful. It was beautiful down in Blacktown. So they got a bit of rain on Wednesday night, which put a dampener on things for Thursday. We were meant to play a 4:30 slot game to start the weekend. So the kids were down there 1 o'clock for the 1:30 opening ceremony, and yeah, our game ended up being played. I can't remember. It was about 6:30. I think the game ended up starting. So they were pretty worn out by the time the game time come around. But yeah, they had a great time. They won their first game. Might have been their only win, but they loved it. They had an absolute blaster. The Div 2 team.
Pretty good size win too, wasn't it, Randall? Straight up.
Yeah, 14-3. So it was a good
Nice.
win against Greater Western. Um, the kids sort of surprised everybody. Um, yeah, it was a lot of walks and a couple of errors cost the other team, and yeah, they were also playing back-to-back games, so they had just finished a game, and half an
Yeah.
hour later they were playing a second game. So um, I'm sure those kids would have been pretty tired too, considering what time it was and how long they'd been there as well. But we'll take anything we can get.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. We talked about that with pitches restrictions last week and things like that. But mate, it's great that you got to win and got plenty of baseball in. Evening, Juvo. How are you, mate? But yeah, what about the Div 1 team, mate? How did they
Oh,
fare?
yeah, they didn't fare as well as we did straight off the bat. They played on the Thursday and they copped an absolute hiding from Cronulla. It was 34-0. In the Little League Div 2, they have got 15 after 3 and 10 run mercy rule after 4 innings. They only play 5. They also only play 6 runs across the plate. The really disappointing thing was this was pool play, and there's no for and against in the pool play. It's just wins and losses, and then if two teams are on equal number of wins and losses, then it goes on head to head. And there was still it was Cronulla, and they were still stealing straight up steals, and they were up by 30 runs. So pretty
Wow.
piss poor in Little League, mate. Like it was really against the whole spirit of what they're trying to do down there. That the team was well beaten. There was no need to be doing that sort of stuff, and it was duly noted by a number of other managers and coaches and associations that that's the carry on that was going on. Um,
Yeah.
it was pretty ordinary, mate. To be honest, I know they were in the same pool as also Hills. We're in the same
Yep.
pool, and now we did have a good chat with a good mate Dobbsy. He was actually coaching the Hills team, and I know he was pretty pissed off with it as well. Like it wasn't a good look at all.
Yep.
I know when some of the other games for our Div 2, we were beaten by the mercy rule, and straight away, there's no straight stealing. It was pass balls only, and even then, a lot of the coaching were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, just stay." But
Yep.
yeah, it was like Div 2. That's all I was there for, and it was good. It was really good for the kids, mate. They loved
Awesome,
it.
mate. Great
Awesome
experience.
development.
I know your young bloke did all right too, which was good. Got plenty of hits and plenty of at
Yep.
bats, and that's what it's all about. Having
It's
lots of
hard,
fun at these events.
and it's hard. that's a reason why I didn't want to do this role. I really didn't want to be doing it when my own child's playing. I always feel like they're, being judged. I'm being judged by that child getting too much game time compared to other kids, and it comes often as a detriment to him
Yeah,
or either one of my kids that I'm coaching, because I'm trying so hard not to make it look like they're getting all the game time that they don't get enough game time. So it was good to have Dwayne Harrison, the NBA chairman, who's a fairly experienced coach there, as my assistant, to really pull me into line and say, no, he needs to play more. If he's in the top 2 or 3 players, he needs to be playing. So he did. He did catch the first game. He then also come on and relieved in the second game, and I think he threw 45 pitches for 2 walks and a hit batter. So that was pretty good. He then caught game 3 for first half of the game until he pulled up a bit sore, and then he caught game 4 as well. So I say I didn't want him to play every game, but he did, and I think he had equal most hits for anyone in the team, and
yeah.
yeah, I think he only had 2 strikeouts or 3 strikeouts for the weekend. So he did well. It was
Lovely.
pretty proud to watch. When your kids are doing well,
Yep.
especially the game that you love yourself, but you suck at.
Go on, mate. You played a bit of rep in your day, mate. It's always good fun. Always having a go,
Yep.
and that's what it's all about. And we play 3rd and 4th grade baseball ourselves. Like we're playing the game for a bit of fun. So
Yeah, that's it, mate. Just good to see all these kids. They all loved it, mate. Like, some kids didn't get a hit all weekend, but we know how that feels. But everybody got to have a pitch, and they just loved it, mate. They absolutely loved it.
yeah. Yes, Matty, how are you, mate? 9-9 in rep as well, BJ. Well,
Always.
it's only because you couldn't be 10-10.
That's exactly right. As a great coach once told
Yeah.
me, you're only hitting 9 because there's no 10.
Beautiful. It's
However,
so true,
mate,
I read it.
in the little league Div 2, they bat through the whole lineup. So if you've got 14, you bat 1 to 14. So that's how they do their participation. They don't do defensive outs. They bat through the lineup, and the kids can come on and off the field as much as they want.
And that's what you want to do. You want to give everyone wants a bat, so get them in, run through the order. I think it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, mate, we made it easy. We just went, here's the batting lineup. We only had 11, so 1 through 11. We just kept the same batting order for the first 2 days, and then for day 3 and day 4, we just flipped it upside down. It was easy. Every kid got to go. Everyone batted. Everyone loved it. Everyone got game time.
It's the way to do it. Hey, I watched a few of the live streams. I watched the Hills and MacArthur game. I think MacArthur ended up getting up over Dobbsy's team, was it? That they come back.
No.
Loaded bases. And they come back and scored 4 runs or something. It was like, I think it might have been a Friday or a Saturday game. So they Hills end up winning it, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, I thought they were I thought they went through undefeated.
Oh, they might have come back, mate. But yeah,
I know they had a walk. They had a walk-off win against somebody on the Saturday night, which was the semi-final.
Okay.
They walked off in the bottom of the last.
Yeah, I was watching the game anyway, and there was a walk, and then a hit, and they scored 3 or 4 runs in that inning, and it was like Dobby called time and went out to the meeting, and I was just thinking what Dobby could be saying to these kids. It would, he's probably really calm and relaxed about the whole situation, but if we took it back 20 years to a grand final in Newcastle where, the first play of the game, he ran over one at right field and that run ended up scoring. And, yeah, he gets pretty fired up, but I think he did a great job in keeping the kids really cool, calm, and collected. And It showed they end up winning it. So it's pretty
and
good.
his boys are red hot too.
Yeah,
they can play. So
nice. All right, mate.
yeah, no,
Well,
it was good, mate. You know, especially the kids playing under lights. I will say that on the first night, our kids got a chance to play under lights on that main diamond.
yeah,
That was something like the kids were just sort of the first inning when they went out to field, they were all just sort of standing there like looking up into the grandstand, and you know they're all their mouths are open, and you know, they were all just sort of shell shocked, and I was like, oh, how do I get them back from this? But you know,
yeah,
awesome experience, and you know, they had a chat to myself and to a couple of the other coaches, and they're all sort of saying the same thing, like, oh, it's pretty cool playing under lights, isn't it? You know, what did you do when you first played under lights? And I was like, mate, we've never played under lights. I've never played a night game.
yeah.
So, you know, this is pretty cool. And they all thought that was awesome. And, you know, well, we got to play a night game, and not even our coaches have played a night game before. So the whole weekend was run well. So hats off to Baseball New South Wales for what they did. All the umpiring was pretty good, as umpiring goes, you know. But yeah, just a good weekend, mate.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
What about yourself? What you get up to on the weekend, mate?
I was ready to play a bit of baseball on the weekend, but we got washed out again. So, you know, not much for me, mate. I can't even remember what I did, but no sport for me this weekend. But I went up took the young bloke up to the remote control cars up at Williamtown again for a bit of a look, and then we end up going to Frontline Hobbies and getting one for him. So we've been tearing up the bush and the streets. So he's been loving that. That's about it for us, mate.
Awesome.
Ready for baseball, and I think I'm out next week with work. So I still haven't played a game yet, and this will be week 4. So spewing.
Don't worry.
Anyway,
Don't worry, mate. We've only played one.
yeah. There was a first grade game this week, so we'll get to that later on. We'll get into a bit of NRL next up, mate. AFL. We might do our Tid Bits after that. Bit of Newey baseball. NASCAR. There was a pretty crazy finish to the NASCAR. F1, MLB, and that's about it for us tonight, mate. So if you want, we'll kick off with a bit of NRL.
Oh, we can. I actually didn't watch any on the weekend. Surprisingly, I say I didn't watch any, but
Did
I
you
caught
watch
a
a
little
night?
bit. No, mate, I didn't. Thankfully, I got a score update. That was about it, and I'm pretty glad that's all I got. But yeah, no, Thursday night, obviously having the late game for baseball, I got home to catch the end of the Roosters versus Storm. Looked like it was a cracking game, with the Storm getting up 18-12 over the Roosters. Did you catch anything, mate?
Only little bits and pieces, mate. I was at work.
Yep. Okay. Fair enough. So we're going to be in the same boat. This is just going to be score updates. Friday, the Dragons 30 over the Warriors 12. That one surprised me by big time. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't pick it.
Yeah, I was not picking that. Dolphins 44 over Parramatta 16. Sorry, Funky. You know, you're probably still going to be crying your soup. I did see Funky on the weekend. He was also coaching one of the Hills teams. Run around with his blue mustache, you know, keeping all the kids happy. So good to see you, mate. Catch up again soon. Panthers.
Just before you go there, mate, you did pick the Dolphins at 310.
I did pick the Dolphins at 310, mate. I thought they were a special. It all went downhill from there, though, so we won't go any further on that. Panthers 22 over your Tigers 6, mate. Probably as expected.
Move on. Yep.
Move on. Yep. Manly 34 over the Titans 30. Broncos did a job on the Raiders 34-10. Poor old Raiders. And then glad Davo's not here tonight because he'd be feeding me. Bulldogs 36 over the woeful Knights 12.
I was trying to tee Davo up to send me a bit of a voice memo or something that I could put in, Randall, but I didn't have anything for you.
Good.
So,
That's what I like to hear. I see Pong is gone. He could be gone for 12 weeks, they're saying.
wow.
Yeah, so that's not good. Some foot tendon issue. He's got to see a surgeon or something like that. So that doesn't sound good. It really, really hurts their chances. I think it's going to be a long year for the poor old Knights.
Yeah, it will be.
And then Sunday finished up. The Sharks absolutely demolished the Cowboys, 42-6. I did not see a scoreline like that coming.
Bit insane, isn't it?
Oh, that was a blowout. I only sort of caught the back half. It was also James's 13th birthday on Sunday, so we
BJ's gone.
don't know what's going on there.
Lost the video connection.
Camera no good, mate. Don't know what's going on there, bud. But yeah, it was James's birthday, so we ducked down to the lovely sunny Harrigans and got the second half of the footy in.
Yeah, beauty. Maybe just remove yourself, Randall, and there you go, you're back. What about the upcoming fixtures, mate? There's a bit on Anzac Day, isn't there?
Yeah,
the 3 games, I think, isn't there?
Yeah, usual specials for Anzac Day. It's actually not the normal, but yeah, Dragons versus Roosters, as always. Usually we get a Warriors versus the Storm. The Warriors are playing the Titans, and the Storm are playing the Rabbitohs. So it's going to be some good footy, starting at 2:00 on Thursday. So I know what I'll be doing from 2:00. It won't be heading them up. It'll be watching the footy.
Fair enough.
Friday, Para versus Manly. Saturday, you've got the Tigers and the Broncos. Oof, don't bother watching that, Hutto. You've also got Panthers versus the Cowboys. And then Sunday, I won't be watching this. The Dolphins versus the Knights, and also the Raiders versus the Sharks. So a couple of good games, all kicking off 2:00 Thursday.
You beauty. Yeah, there will be a few good games there, mate. But, all right, let's have a look at the scores from the AFL, or the standings, shall we say. Geelong Cats are the only team now undefeated on 6-0. Swans are 5-1. Giants 5-1. Carlton 5-1. Port Adelaide 4-2. Melbourne 4-2. Essendon 4-2. And the Western Bulldogs 3-3. And the bottom dwellers, North Melbourne, are still without a win. 6-0. Hawthorn,
0-6.
Richmond, and Adelaide all 1-5. So, a couple of big games there over the weekend. Good to see our Sydney teams up the top there, Randall.
Definitely is, mate. It's always good.
Yeah, we talked before about the rain and not much action in Newcastle baseball. I know our third grade sort of got washed out. There was one first grade game. So second grade actually got washed out. Boomerangs washed out their second grade, but got a game on in first grade. Interesting. Boomerangs 12 defeated Phoenix 2. Let's have a look who pitched. Kovac threw again for Boomers, and also Joel Pettigrew. For Phoenix, who we had Jackson Frame, Eric Don, and Dylan Minchin. So there was a few runs scored there. It was sort of, I think it was a 6. They scored 5, and then it was just 2s and 3s for most of the game. So Boomerangs are on top of the table. I think they're the only ones that have played 3 games, I think, as well, for 3 wins. So they're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm very surprised anybody got on, mate.
I was too, mate.
I saw a lot of photos of grounds, and most grounds were absolutely saturated. So
remember, we used to get a lot of games called on for Toronto, mate, when we were struggling. Everyone wanted to play us back in the day.
Yeah, mate, that's
Um,
right. I do remember. Yeah, when we were a team that we used to, we were a bit of a punching bag for other clubs. We did seem to find that we constantly were the only game being played. So
yeah. No, I mean it's great that they got to play a game. It would have been nice to see second grade get on as well.
yeah,
But
yeah, but you
yeah,
got to do what you can to get that first grade on. I think
absolutely.
that's the most important grade. If you can, call second grade off and work on the ground and give yourself time to be ready to play first grade, that's what we want. You want your Premier League playing as much as they
100%,
can.
mate. I agree with that. All right, let's jump into some tidbits and we'll talk a little bit more baseball after that. Where are we? Here we go. I'm up first. Oh, Mad Bum hit more Grand Slams in 2014 than Derek Jeter hit in his entire career. Hey, Mad Bum, he was pretty good.
It was a
Pretty
sneaky,
good.
wasn't he? Knew how to
He
fight.
was.
Knew how to run into one
Yeah, he loved
quite regularly.
having a decent swing too.
Yeah, he's the original Showy.
He is. He is. I said there's a couple of two-way players coming through. Actually, who was it? I can't remember.
There was
Might
an
have been.
Australian, I think, that's just been signed to college. I saw,
Yeah, no, it
and they said he
was
was a
someone
two-way
at
player.
a real high level. Um, I'll research and come back to you. I can't remember. It was good. Good read. What about this one? I've seen this one today. Matt Stairs is the only player in MLB history to have played all four 1969 expansion teams, the Padres, Royals, Expo Nationals, and the Pilots Brewers. He also played for more teams than any other position player with 12 franchises, 13 if one counts his two stints with the Expos Nationals as different teams. He also
Wow,
holds a career record for most pinch hit home runs with 23.
how
What a
good's
legend.
that? How good's that? Talk about a cap
Yeah,
collector.
loves it. You know, you look at some of these Hall of Fame players, seeing where where their statue is going to be, what their hat is on their statue. Mate, he would have them racked up if he was to go.
Not wrong.
What do you got here, Randall, for your
How
titties?
about this one? Oakland Athletics have won 3 straight series for the first time since May 2021. Have you seen where they're sitting on the board?
I have.
They're sitting ahead of some interesting teams there in their division. So, mate, they're actually, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the old, Major League movie, let's win this whole fucking thing. I don't
Maybe.
know. Like, they want to move them out of town, so let's stick it up their ass. I don't know, but yeah,
Good
it's
be,
good to
mate.
see, isn't it?
It is good to see. I think they're ahead of the Astros. I think
Well
they're
and
9 and
truly.
14 or something like that. So
Astros are sitting at the bottom of their division, so
yeah,
they're
you're
putrid.
beauty. What else you got for me? I think you got a bit of a mistake, haven't you?
Yeah, just a little bit of one. Yeah, this was Russian stadium didn't meet FIFA regulations on capacity, so they added 18,000 seats in the most terrifying way possible. If this was legit, Jesus Christ, I don't know what you'd do, but yeah, I saw it and thought, oh, that's a good one. That's a good little piss take.
Yeah,
Surely it's not real.
classic. If for those listening on the audio only, just think, I don't know how would you describe that, Randall? 200-foot high scaffolding
Scaffold.
out in the middle of nowhere, looking
Yep,
into a stadium.
yep. Basically, the end of the stadium's been cut out, and yeah, it looks like it's, I don't know,
Looks like the Colosseum where
5 to 10
things aren't
stories high.
facing the right way. Anyway, well, that rounds out our tidbits for tonight. And for those playing at home, for our tidbits, Dabble is our sponsor for our tidbits. If you want to have a dabble yourself, please remember to gamble responsibly and use our promo code Sports Rewind for the Dabble app, and will help us out here at the show. What do we got else for tonight, Randall? I think I've got a bit of the NASCAR, mate. I don't know if you caught the end of that. Talladega, so it's always a big one. The bloke leading out in front, couldn't tell you his name. Old mate up there, you see number 7 in the yellow right up against the wall. That was the last lap. He led for the last 15 or 20 laps or something, and he's got a spotter there telling him, yep, go low, go high, go low. He's protecting low and high for the last 7-8 laps. He's doing a great job. And he's gone from low to high in that last lap and just got punted and caused this massive crash. But the biggest thing that I want to bring to this about the NASCAR, Van Gisbergen absolutely flying along. So he's probably he led for a lot of the race until he had some issues with fuel. He refueled, joined back on. He was probably sitting in 18th to 20th sort of thing. And on Talladega, the bank is 33 degrees, so it's a massive bank. And Van Gisbergen led up a line 3 wide going probably the last 7 laps, and he was just coming forward and got into about 8th position, and then the guy that was in sort of 6th cut across on him and kept going and let him out a bit further, and they were going up a bit, towards the front, and then someone else pulled out and just killed their momentum. So Van Gisbergen ended up 16th or something like that, but it was a great drive by SVG, and it's good to see him doing well on that stage. He's got plenty to learn. He admits that, fuel saving and things like that, he still hasn't learned the ins and outs, and he could have been right at the top. It was good to see him having a crack and right at the front of the race, and no one gave him a hand towards the end there. So they talk about it in all their media about not many people giving him a hand, and he talked on Twitter about having an L plate and no one wanted to help. So I think he was a bit pissed, but as you would be, he had a great race.
Did anyone catch on fire?
No, not on fire, Rick.
Okay, just checking.
That's on Netflix now too. I did watch that not long ago. Great movie.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake. F1. Do you see any results of the F1, mate?
No, mate.
Definitely wouldn't have watched them with all the stuff that you had on over the weekend. But any guesses to who might have won?
No, Verstappen.
Max Verstappen out in front again, mate. Yeah. Lando Norris in 2nd position, Sergio Perez in 3rd, Leclerc 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, Russell, Alonso, Piastri in 8th, Lewis Hamilton, and the Hulk in 10th. Now, just want to go down here quickly. Daniel Ricciardo out again. He got punted, and I think it might be close to the end for Daniel Rick, mate. He's just about gone, I reckon.
Yeah, I think he's cooked, mate. I think he's done and dusted.
Anyway.
Did you catch any of the V8s, mate?
No, I didn't see any of the V8s.
They're in New Zealand. I did actually when I was sitting back in the hotel room after an 8:30 a.m. game that only went for an hour. And yeah, it was in New Zealand, and it was absolutely flogging down. And it was just carnage the whole time. So I did see.
Go back and watch the highlights.
Yeah, I did watch a bit of that. Yeah, didn't see who won anything, but yeah, looked like it was pretty wet and wild on the Saturday.
Fair enough. Let's head into some baseball, mate. We'll I'll share the screen with us for the baseball, and we'll go through the standings, and then we've got a few bits and pieces to pull out. Dodgers still on top in the NL West, 13-11. Padres, half a game back, 13-12. D-backs, Giants locked, 2 games back. Colorado, Rockies 7.5. Braves 15-6. Phillies not far behind, 15-8. New York Mets 12-10. The Nats 10-11. Marlins 6-18. Marlins are putrid. Brewers 14-7. Cubs 13-9. Reds 12-10. Pirates 12-11. 10-13 for our Cards there.
Pirates have fallen off the planet a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
3-7 from their last 10. So
yeah, Baltimore Orioles, mate. They're 15-7 out in front to the Yankees 15-8. Red Sox sitting there third in 13-10. I am pretty impressed by the starting pitching rotation for the Red Sox this year. Their bullpen's crap, but their starters have done a hell of a job. 13-10 for the Blues.
I think we had a bit of a chat about that, didn't we, with Davo and Boston. They're really doing well at the front end of games, and they're holding teams to next to nothing for 5, 6, even 7 innings, and then they got nothing to close the game out.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? Hopefully they can pick someone up before the season ends. 12-12 for the Rays. Guardians are 16-6 and 3.5 clear of the Tigers, sitting back there in 13-10 along with the Royals. 2 teams that I'm pretty impressed with is the Tigers and the Royals, mate.
Yep. Can they keep it up though for the next however many games? Or
I really hope so. I reckon it'll be good to see. Because that Central's been pretty average.
Well, you look at Chicago White Sox, mate. That they really are piss poor.
Yeah.
Like,
worst team in baseball right now, 3-19. So have a look at their run difference, minus 78.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is putrid. This is a pretty close division here. Texas 12-11, Mariners 11-11, Angels and Oakland 9-14, and the Houston Astros down there are 7-16. What's going on with the Astros, mate?
Don't know, mate. What is it? Just not scoring runs. They just don't know. They're not clicking. They're not really firing, are they? They'll come good though. They're the team they are. They won't be down for long. What's their percentage at the moment? What did you have there? Something,
mate. They're 304.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way in a month's time you can be sitting there saying that they're still going to be 300.
Yeah, I just think you go back and look at clubs that miss out, just like who was it last year? The Mariners. Mariners just missed out, and they had a really crap April. And sure, the season's not won here, but it can be lost here.
So, yeah, I think they've got enough that they can come back from that.
I hope so. Well, I always like watching the Astros play. I know they get pretty beat up with the whole trash can thing, but I like watching them play.
They're an exciting team to watch. They've got guys. Any bloke in their lineup can hit the ball over the fence. That they field well. There you go, spot on. You get Verlander back, and it's a massive difference.
Yeah, for sure.
A few teams had slow starts. That'll turn around. A couple of teams got off to flyers, and it's all starting to rearrange itself now, and that's the longevity of a baseball season.
Yep.
It's why you play 164 games, I guess.
100%. I've got a few things here, mate, for baseball. You see Jack Leader come up and had his start. I was on night shift, and it was a 3 a.m. game, so it was beautiful. I got to watch it. And he pitched really well first innings, and then he got beat up. I think he's 7 runs scored off him, or 7 all after 4 or 5 innings. And then he got optioned back to AAA. So, Jordan is killing baseballs too. Yep, 100%. And any time in October that he sees a baseball, he hits it out of the park. If anything, the last few seasons to go by, that's for sure.
100%.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. MLB brothers with MLB sons. Al Leader and Mark Leader, both their sons have played, and I really think that he'll get a good run with Texas later on in the year. He had some pretty nasty stuff in the first innings and then got a bit beat up, and it's just the way he's fights back, I guess. They did say that he was just coming up for this one outing, whether he, threw lights out or not. So it's a good one there.
Yeah, they'll get to points in the year and they're going to need arms.
Yeah,
Fresh arms again to come up. So he'll be back.
for sure. Did you see the Mets City Connect?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I just
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I like the
Yeah.
hat, but I'm not a fan of the jersey. Again,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of many of these City Connect jerseys. Anyone else?
Yeah,
Like
I'm not a big fan, mate.
No, I'm not a huge fan at all. What about our man Bauer?
Oh,
Up and no hit, 6 innings pitched, dealing.
14 Ks. Like, stop
Yeah,
it.
in the Mexican leagues,
In the-
he got a bit beat up in his first outing, but this was a good comeback for him.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah, so I did see the other day, like he'd put something up on his socials where he'd saying, oh, all these, cases are being dropped against me and blah, blah, blah. And, I was innocent. I tell you what, like, someone sign him. Someone sign him.
yeah.
How can you not be playing Major League for minimum?
Yeah.
Like, he's happy to play for minimum.
Yeah,
With all these
mate,
pitchers that are blowing their elbows out and whatever, what do you got to lose?
there's obviously something going on back end that the teams don't want him. We've talked about these heaps. It seems ridiculous, but Cambo's not a fan of the Met City Connect either. Screams pinstripes. Yeah.
I agree, Cambo. That's sort of the first thing I thought too. Like, just looks too Yankees.
Yeah, not a fan. What else have I got here, mate? Yamamoto hasn't quite found his groove. He's gave up 2 home runs in 171 innings in Japan, and he's given up 3 homers in his first 17.1 innings of MLB. What do you think? Do you think he'll find his groove, mate?
Yeah, mate. I think he will. I think we'll all agree that he was given massive money for someone that hadn't proven himself.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will debate that. But yeah, like anyone coming into the league, like there's not many pitchers that just walk in and dominate, is there?
No.
So he needs to get there. He needs to find what works for him, what's going to work against MLB quality hitters, and go from there. But he'll be fine. I think he'll come good.
Blake Snell got another shellacking a couple of days ago. He's got a 11.57 ERA in 3 starts. Hasn't gone any more than 5. As a Giants fan, we sort of expect him not to go any more than 5 anyway. But it just goes to show that spring training is always a slow starter as it is, and
And I think we've discussed it we've discussed it on here multiple times when no one had signed him early on, and we said the same thing, that he's not he's not known to go deep in games. For that starter, you're probably only going to get 5 or 6, maybe 6 innings out of him. He's not going to go 7+. He never has been that guy. And if he's on, he's on. If he's not, then he's really not. And I don't know. It's an even year this year, so must mean he's not on. You know what I mean?
That's it.
He to get his big money he wanted, he had to come out and have a big year to back up his previous big year and not be injured and go long in games, and he just can't do that. It just shows that he's not worth the money that he wanted.
Yep,
I think.
I agree. 100% agree. What about this guy though? For Boston, this was an epic game. It was the quickest game or something. Was it hour 43 or something?
I think it might have been. I did have this as a tidbit, so I throw that one out the window now. But
9 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 9 Ks.
An hour 49.
There you go.
It was an hour 49 as the shortest 9-inning game in the MLB since Detroit beat Cleveland 3-0 in an hour 44 on the 2nd of the 6th, 2010.
It's great to see. We don't see it enough. Pitchers going the distance, and it's great that we talked about the Red Sox starters doing really well, and here's another example. So
yeah, but the problem is they need to go 9 innings because if they don't, they've got no bullpen. Yeah, and they bleed runs at the back end of the game.
Plenty of blown saves. I
did see actually Craig Kimbrell today. I don't know if you already got this.
Are you talking about the record save?
Today, the record save, yeah. So he went ahead of Billy Wagner.
Did you see
yesterday?
Go on, you explain it then.
So yesterday he also got a save against Kansas City, in Kansas City, and there was a fly ball to finish the game into the outfield, which actually tied that. I think it's equals 7th, I think, on all-time saves leaderboard. You know, pretty happy with himself. And the outfielder, Colton Cowser, who's only a young rookie, caught the ball and celebrated and threw the ball over his head into the crowd, and it landed in the water fountain at Kauffman Stadium. He was not very impressed, poor old Craig Kimbrell, that his save-tying ball got thrown into the water fountain.
Did you hear what they did?
No.
To the boy? So Cowser went to climb in the fountain to get it back, and there was 2 balls in there. So they didn't know which ball was which. And then they soon realised which one was which because the other one had been sitting there for a while and it was pretty waterlogged. They got the ball out and they thought, it's like dropping a phone or something. They'd put in a bag of rice. So they put this ball in a bag of rice and dried out for him overnight, and they presented it to him today, I think. So
just put it straight in the microwave.
That's right.
Get those steams up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, he got another save today against the Angels, so he actually went outright 7th. But he's only, like one more save and he's equal 6th, 2 more saves and he's equal 5th or something like that. Like if he gets 3 saves, he jumps up to like outright 5th or something like that. So there's a few bunched right now together. He's still, I think he's about thumb suck. I think he was 13 short of Kenley.
Yep.
And I think he was number 3 or number 4 on the list. So I don't think anyone's probably going to go close to catching Mariano, but yeah.
He was the gem. What about this one, mate? Seen this one today. Pete Rose signing some baseball. Sorry, I bet on baseball. Pete Rose on the other side, or another ball. Otani, sorry, also Pete Rose. I love it.
Love it. I love it too.
An absolute gem. Plenty of backwards and forwards on Twitter about that one. So
yeah, no, it's good. I love it. I love old Pete Rose.
Classic. All right, mate. Anything else for baseball you want to bring up?
No, mate. I think that's about it. Just seeing some, bit of the cream rising to the top as usual on the ladders now.
Yeah, a bit like the footy, mate. The right down the bottoms, the crap teams, and
pretty much
moving forward. No, Yeah, you're right about teams getting to the top. We have a look at the West, the Dodgers. We all sort of knew that they'd be up there. We knew the Braves would be up there. We all thought the Brewers would be up there.
Yep.
The Orioles, the Guardians, and the only one that we sort of didn't predict was AL West. And I think one of you picked the Rangers to be up there, and others were between Mariners and Houston. So
yeah,
it's pretty close.
Yeah,
Contest,
I still think Houston will move back up there. They'll be up. So they'll be thereabouts, mate. They always are. Sure. It's like saying the Dodgers won't be there.
They'll be there. They'll blow it in the first game, hopefully. First series, they're out.
Hope so.
Yeah. All right, mate, let's leave it there for tonight. And we'll catch you all next week for some more sport. Have a good weekend.
Right, all. Peace.
See you, mate.